Hi, I'm Leeza. I'm an international transformation specialist. And today I want to talk about something all of us long for, whether we say it out loud or we don't. And that is to be truly seen, seen for who we are. So that means not wearing a mask, not being seen for the roles we perform, but really being seen for who we know ourselves to be. And today I want to invite you to explore why authentic connection starts with one powerful decision: the decision to show up as yourself, as you really are. So, have you ever been surrounded by people and yet still felt totally alone? Like maybe in a social circumstance or even at work or even in a family or relationship? Or have you ever hidden parts of yourself because you feared or you've been told that they were too much or not enough? Loneliness is not about being unseen by others. It's actually about hiding from yourself. So I'm going to say that again. We feel lonely not because others don't see us, but because we hide from ourselves. And today I want to show you why authenticity isn't just about expression. It's allowing yourself to be loved fully and truly for exactly how you are. And the first place you've got to start is with yourself. My experience is that loving yourself is not soft and fluffy. It is hard work and it is so worth it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let's start with clarity. We often think that hiding protects us, like it keeps us safe from judgment or rejection, right? So let's say I go into a party or a social circumstance and um, I don't feel like I'm really smart enough to be there, and everybody's knowing what's going on. Like maybe at an art exhibition, that would be it for me, right? I don't know a lot about art, and if I just don't say anything, or um, if I look interested, like I watch other people, maybe what they're doing. This is fictitious, but as an example, right? So we have this thought that by doing that, by hiding my feeling of insecurity or my lack of knowledge about art, for example, we think it keeps us safe from that judgment, or that we can hide and it'll be okay. But what we hide, we can't connect through, right? So when we're hiding parts of ourselves, we're actually hiding all of ourselves. We can't really connect with others because we have this wall, this facade up. And when we show only curated versions of ourselves, we actually end up feeling unseen, even when we're surrounded by people, because we're not showing ourselves, right? That kind of makes sense. So when we want to feel connected, when we want to feel seen, we need to be present. It requires us to be truly present, right? Truly present. So that's being clear about what's entailed is the authenticity. So let's talk now about ownership, choosing to show up authentically, right? So, and authenticity is not a license to kill. It's not, it doesn't mean you get to go out and just say what's ever on your mind and, tear people down and be obnoxious. That's not what we're talking about. And that's not who you are. Ownership means taking responsibility for how we present ourselves to the world. It means choosing to be authentic, even when you're vulnerable, even when it's risky. So I spent a long time in Europe, and at the beginning, especially in Germany, I didn't speak the language. So it took a lot for me to say, I don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. Can you help me, please, with that? It was such a hard practice, especially since I came from a family of linguists who we always had to be on point with our language. And there I was not being able to converse at all. So I learned to be vulnerable and say, boy, I really don't know what you're saying, or I don't know how to say this myself. Can you help me? So authenticity says, I trust that who I am is enough, right? In my example, I didn't speak German, for example, but I knew I was still enough. I was a good person. I was showing up. And that real connection is built on truth of who I am and not on my performance. Okay? So you can't control who accepts you. There were some people that didn't accept me at all because I didn't speak German. But you can control how you offer yourself to others and how real you are with others. I even, just a quick example, I was teaching English, in a community college, and I actually had somebody leave the class because I didn't speak British English. And in their opinion, and in a lot of Europe, British English is the real English, and then American English is less than, right? So that was another opportunity for me to ask myself, am I okay? Am I worthy? And I said, yeah, I am. I can't speak anything other than American English. That's how I was raised. But this person wanted something different, and that is okay. So I have no control, and you have no control over who accepts you, but you do have complete control on what you offer to others and how real you show up. That's powerful. That's powerful. So let's talk a minute about resolution, and that is healing the fear of being rejected. That's what's really behind it, right? It's the fear of being rejected. When you carry a belief that something about you isn't good enough, and if somebody really knew who I am, they wouldn't love me. If they knew about my faults, if they knew about how I am when I get upset, or that my laugh is too loud, or whatever it is, whatever judgments you hold about yourself, our fear of being rejected is that if other people see that, they're not going to like me or love me for that. And that's the exact reason why loving yourself is so important, because when you accept yourself for those things, like really, I love my loud laugh. It is boisterous and it is big and it is happy. And it's not for everybody. So if somebody rejects me because of my loud laugh, and I've actually had that happen, that wasn't going to work anyway, because I'm sure not going to laugh quietly. so, so resolution comes when you dare to test that belief that they won't love me or they won't accept me if they really knew me. Okay? And it also is founded on seeing and accepting yourself. So when you show up with authenticity and you let others meet the real you, you give them and yourself the gift of real relationship. It may be an invitation to them. Maybe they were taught they weren't allowed to laugh out loud. And now they've got someone who's going to let them laugh out loud, right? So you begin to discover that you are always more than lovable, and your fear just didn't let you believe that. And the people that you show yourself to have the opportunity to accept and love you the way you are. And those who don't want to, you can let them go. That's okay too. So let's talk about excellence, and that is building relationships that nourish your soul. Yeah. Excellence in connection is not about how many people you have, it's not about the quantity of relationships. It's about the depth and the realness and the quality of your relationships, how honestly you can meet one another. And that's based on how you show up, right? When you choose to be authentic, when you choose to share your real self with others, first of all, that's a gift, because I'm going to say right now, without knowing you, you have such beauty inside of yourself. And when you share that with other people, they get to participate in that beauty. What a gift. And then in being yourself with others, you attract relationships that nourish you and respect and celebrate your true self. So you stop settling for surface, you yourself, and then you start living in real belonging, first to yourself and then with the people that you encounter. And it's not easy maybe, or it's not common. Let me say it that way. It's not common. Oh, but it is so rich and so nourishing, and you're going to find just delightful experiences and some that maybe aren't so delightful. But then you'll know who you are and who belongs in your life and who doesn't, because you're going to recognize who you belong to and who you don't, right? Who's receiving you and who can't. So this week, I invite you to share one authentic truth with someone you trust, right? It doesn't have to be a deep, dramatic thing. Um, let's say that you're in a conversation about, I was recently in a conversation with some people who love Formula One, right? Racing. Now, everybody knows about Formula One racing, but I don't know a lot more than that it's Formula One racing, right? So the opportunity I might invite you to is in that situation to say, you know what? I know about Formula One racing, but I know nothing about it. Would you tell me about it? Because I'm really naive. It can be that simple. Or it can be something as simple as telling someone how much they mean to you, right? It can also be in a business circumstance that I really appreciate doing business with you because you show up always with integrity, and I value that. Or you can admit when you're unsure. Say, I really don't know what to do right now, and I need some time, right? So whatever the circumstance is, just a small way of expressing a truth about yourself that you usually would hide. That's the invitation. And notice what happens. And notice then if you do it again, what happens then? And when you consistently choose sharing your truth, yourself, over your image, over how you look, see how your relationships change. And get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear the changes that you recognize. So if this message reminded you that you are worthy of being seen, first from yourself, and that you get to share yourself with others because really that's a gift to the world, and that you are worthy not because of a mask you wear or because of what you perform, but simply because of who you are, then go ahead and like the video and subscribe, right? Because I bring out videos frequently and then you'll be on that list. And share the video with someone who's also looking for deeper connection and struggles perhaps with trusting to be who they really are. And if you're ready to live from a place of clarity and ownership and resolution and excellence, my 4 pillars, then you'll find resources and programs linked below. And remember, you deserve to be accepted and loved and seen for exactly as you are.